What's going on, everybody? Welcome back to episode 17 actually. Episode 17 of Charts and Chats. And let's just get right into this trading session. Let's do it. Oh, gotta fix the camera. I'm sure you already know what time it is, man. Let me fix it real quick. There we go. Alright, we good. Alright, let's get right on into it. Alright. So, who's in this right now? What's up, Mike? What's going on? What's going on, Mike? Whenever you want to talk, just let me know. You could just chill for now. But alright, guys, so I'm gonna start right now, strictly off what I'm looking at. I'm gonna go off the daily right now. Alright, so first things first, I come to the daily on US30 right now. You can see we're clearly pushing right now. We're trying to clear these highs as of right now. And once we clear these highs, I'm looking for price to potentially keep trading higher up to fill this fair value gap that we have from this candle's low to this candle's high right here. It would be from here, but we already filled some of it, so I'll just leave it here in my effect for you guys. So I'm looking to clear these highs and push a little bit higher. Why am I looking to come a little bit higher? Because I know that there is an order block up here. And I also know that we have this order block right here of this daily. And I know that once we get up there, we are likely to see a reaction in price. So that's what I'm aiming for. I'm also going to pull my fib from the high and the low. This fib, I'm going to pull it from this high, very high, to this very low. You can see we'll kind of, I don't really like that fib. I'm going to do it like this. Right now we're pushing. Simply, if we're bullish, ideally, we just want to wait for a pullback to potentially keep on riding it to the top. But as of right now, I'm not sure if I feel comfortable enough trying to buy. Because if you look at these candles, everything's just pushing right now. Pushing above these highs that I was talking about, trying to clear them as of right now. Then next place from here we're going to clear is here. Then we have this fair value gap up here that we're looking to fill. So as of right now, another simple trade we could possibly be looking to take is if we look for a retracement, possibly back to this breaker block on the 4 hour. It's a 4 hour breaker block. Because honestly, we just have to wait for price to start to create this form of resistance so we can pull our fib so that we can map out an area where price is likely to retrace to. So we're going to put the 50% of this breaker block. This is what we have on our 4 hour for our confirmations right now. There's not really much going on because we're just been pushing. And I know the reason why we're pushing. If you come all the way and look on the weekly, guys, you can see we were trading inside of this bullish weekly order block this whole time. Right here. This bullish weekly order block. And you can see we started to trade above. That's why we've had this big expansion. So I'm still looking to take prices higher. If you also take your fib from this very high, this is very low. You can see this is where we are currently. So we're gonna see what we can do with price. Honestly, we're gonna see. I don't want to look for any short scenarios. Best case scenario, I'm looking for buys, but in this case, I feel we're going to be more likely to be able to catch a sell scenario. So that's our daily. This is our 4 hour. This is our 4 hour breaker block we're looking to trade into. As of right now, we're trading inside of this. Where would this be? Not there, not there. 4 hour. Trying to find it. What's going on, Martin?
Just hopped on the live video, the Zoom, ready to get it in.
We lit. Boomer. This 30 is kind of trash. It's just been pushing. No, not really room for anything. No entries. That's all good. I'm not gonna be taking any trade besides at 9:30 today, so I ain't even gonna take the risk for anything before then, personally. So from now until 9:30, I'm gonna just be going over stuff with you.
Okay, I'm down.
Yeah, cause I ain't even gonna take no risk. I'm gonna just wait till 9:30, look for one trade, and if I fail, I fail. If I don't, I don't. But right now, here, I'm gonna start off back on the daily for you. So the first thing I noticed when I got on the charts is we're about to come above these highs right here. We're like trading right above them. Danny PC, Boomer, what's going on, guys?
What's up?
But you can see we're trading in this area right now. We're about to clear these highs. So one thing I'm looking for where price is going to go once it clears these highs. So what did I do? I looked left, and I seen that if you look at these candles, if you look at the wicks from here to here, we have a gap, and since that gap is there, we call that a fair value gap. So we can anticipate price is more than likely going to try to fill this. And then right above it, we have this daily order block. I don't know why it says daily high. We have this daily order block. We also have one right here too. So ideally, in this general area would be a good area to sell from. But personally, I don't know if we're going to be able to get up here today, due to the fact that it's Friday and this is about 400 pips. This might be where we end the week, if anything. But I'm looking for potential buy. I don't want to even look for buys, honestly, because it's not having much of a retracement. So if you look at this from here to here, even if you look at the continuation level, we're not having no type of retracement. This is pushing and pushing. But this is just on the daily. So this is what we're looking at on the daily. We know that there's areas in price that we're going to be wanting to target at, what price is this? 35. At 35, like basically 300 area. 35, 300. So let's move on to the 4 hour. 4 hour is simple too. All it did is I marked up these highs that we're likely going to trade into before we trade into this fair value gap over here on the higher time frame, and you can see it a little bit better on a 4 hour right from here to here. It's pretty clear. You have it right above this high. Then once you trade into that, there's likely going to see a reaction. So then I also marked up this bullish breaker block right here. Why is this breaker block? Because if you look back in time, this was previously an order block. As you can see, price traded into it, respected it, and there was also a chance that price could continue to drop from here. But in this case, it didn't drop. It kept breaking through it, breaking market structure to the top side. So now this becomes a breaker block, and all we're going to do is simply look for a possible retracement into it to see price go higher. That's one possible trade. Or we could look to target this as a first potential target for a trade when we sell. So this is just our higher time frame analysis. Not much going on. I'm just gonna move on to my lower time frame, move on to the 15-minute, and I'm gonna start to do my daily, mark up my Asian session. After I mark up my Asian session, I'm gonna mark up the 12 a.m. open from when we opened, which is right here, and I'm gonna just look at what price did overnight. So I'm gonna get to 50% of my Asian range also, just like that. So the first thing I noticed is right here during London session, kind of we're consolidating in this area. We didn't really clear these lows. We did a little bit, but this doesn't really look like a clean cut. It made an equal low, if anything. It makes me think that price is going to continue to come lower before it pushes higher, personally, based off of what I see from what happened during London session. So like I said, if we're bullish, I'm just going to be looking for a possible pullback, and ideally, if we're bullish, we want to be buying under the 12 a.m. open. You know why we want to buy under the 12 a.m. open?
No.
So basically, it's just simple. understanding the candlesticks. You understand that when a candlestick, here, I'm gonna make it a little bit darker. When a candlestick is moving like this, it ideally never starts just pushing up right away. It always starts low, goes up, has pullbacks, then pushes ideally higher to where it eventually wanted to go, before then retracing a little bit and making the candle. So ideally, to get the best possible entries on candles, you want to buy as low as possible. So the same thing goes for our daily candles. So even on when you're trying to buy, you want to keep in mind where you are on the daily candle. And you can see we're pushing high. So ideally, we wouldn't want to buy just in the middle. We would want to wait for a possible retracement to buy as low as possible and as close to the open as possible. Because if we can get in at the open or near the open, we're going to be able to catch the majority of the daily expansion if we're on the right side of the market. If we're on the wrong side of the market, then it's just going to go against us. But when you understand where price wants to go overall, based off the higher time frame, and you're trading on a lower time frame, such as the 15-minute or the 30-minute, you're going to be able to capitalize on a bigger move and a bigger daily expansion. Because there's going to be times where you can catch a small retracement or small reversal, but then price, you can catch that, but then price is going to reverse and go the opposite way the rest of the day. So you can still make money on little moves that go against the daily bias. But if you want to have the best case scenario of having a good winning trade, you want to trade with it all. So you just want to trade with all the confirmations. So basically all we're going to be waiting for, personally me, is I'm going to just be waiting to more than likely see at 9:30, price trade below this 12 a.m. open, trade, clear these lows, trade maybe possibly to this 50, possibly even tap into this 15-minute order block right here that we have. This could be a possible buying scenario based off the fact that London didn't create a low, and we're going to be creating a high. We're creating the high of the day as of right now during New York. So this is a possible reversal scenario. So we could either be looking to go short, sell into this area down here, expecting price to drop, or we could wait till 9:30 to potentially just get a
catch the expansion.
Yeah. So we just gotta wait right now. We have this order block that we're going to keep in mind. Just like that. Gonna mark up to 50% of it.
What's up, Emmanuel?
What's going on? What's going on, Emmanuel? But this is basically all I'm doing right now. I'm just waiting for price to potentially create a support right now. Make a support or resistance up here, so we could potentially have this drop in price. And you can see our fib also matches with our influences. So down here is one of our ideal areas we would be looking for a trade at. Why? Because this has a majority of the confirmations that we're looking for.
So are we gonna be looking for a buy? We're gonna be looking for a sell right now, right?
Personally, I'm waiting for price to really show me, because as of right now, two potential trades that I could be looking to take is I could be looking for confirmations to wait for price to drop to catch the sell into this area, anticipating price could have a potential reversal. So I could be looking to get in now to potentially catch about 100 pips to downside, or I could wait for price to have a retracement down here for me to look for potential buy scenarios. But personally, because based off the higher time frames, such as the 4-hour, everything's bearish. So if we potentially clear this high, we could see a reversal scenario. So that would be a trade that I'm willing to take. I more likely want to take a sell trade, because I know since we're so overbought, we have a deep retracement, I could potentially catch a good move, 200 to 280 pips to 300 pips. That's ideally what I would be wanting to do. But we just gotta wait. I don't think there's gonna be any news today. It's only 8:25 right now. But I'll check the news, because we got one. I don't really care for news, but I like to know when the news is, so I can map out when there's likely going to be a lot of volume in the market. Because you don't want to trade when there's no volume. When you trade when there's no volume, you tend to get stuck in trades for a long period of time. Yeah, we have news at 8:30. So we could likely see some sort of reaction. I don't care how good the numbers are going to be. I just care to know when the numbers are going to come out, so I can anticipate when price is going to have a volume spike. And you can see we're starting to show that we have a little bit of volume coming in after we're breaking these candles lows, and we have the news in about 5 minutes. So we're gonna see. We're gonna see what can happen. Right now we're just being patient and waiting. But yeah, there's not really much going on right now. You see price cleared these highs right here, and now it's trading below it almost immediately. So this could be a potential false break scenario that we could be looking at to the downside. We'll see. Because like I said, these highs right here are getting traded through as of right now. Just like that. These, see how these highs got traded through on the 4-hour time frame? These 4-hour highs.
Yeah, I see that.
It's clearing it. It's cleared this one, and now starting to break down immediately. So when you see things like this, and it clears a high and immediately trades lower, you can see that there's a willingness that it took the liquidity, now it's going to seek the other side liquidity. So it got buy side liquidity, now where's the sell side liquidity? Below these lows, below these lows, and below these lows. So it's going to target some of these. Even it could just target these short-term lows right here and trade into this order block. So those are also potential scenarios that could happen. But there's not really much going on with US 30s. Kind of hard to catch trades based off of, look at this, the 4-hour time frame is just expanding. You could tell we're slowly losing that momentum. That's why part of me wants to catch sells instead of buys personally. But we just gotta wait. We're also gonna keep in mind where we are on price level wise. You can see we're currently rejecting this 35,050 level, and we have this 35,000 level all the way down here, which I more than likely think price is gonna reach for. As you can see, it's starting to fall now. So let's see what we can do. And now we're just dropping. So we'll see where price reaches for. Yeah, it's dropping fast now. Damn, I got like all these things on here. Alright. Yeah, you can see this drop we're having in price at 8:30. You know what I'm saying? Now you see what I mean? When I don't really care if if it's gonna be good news or bad news. I just care to know when it's gonna happen, because I can anticipate when price is likely to see spikes in price. As you can see, it's trading down to this little 15-minute order block. We'll see if it respects it. But ideally, like I said, if you want to be catching buys, the best case scenario would be to be waiting for price to come all the way down here to, what level is this? To about 34,950. 34,950 looks like it's going to be a good area to get buys off of. Right here. That 34,950 is right in the middle of all these other confirmations. So there's just a lot of confirmations going on right here. So I'm going to map them out. We have that fib long confirmation. We have that 15-minute order block. We also have the 50% of that Asian session, and we also have that 34,950. It's not a strong big figure level, but nonetheless, it's still a big figure level. And yeah, as you can see, if you look at all the red lines, these are every 50, and you can see the reaction it has off of each level. Reaction. You can see how well it respects certain levels. But that's really it. That's an ideal trade we could be looking to take. But if anything happens, I'm just waiting until 9:30 to take a trade. So I'm not going to take any unnecessary trades. So I'm going to just wait and let price show me what it likely wants to do. Because if price continues to drop, we get a buy. We could see a retracement higher to potentially see lower prices. So we just got to wait and see what we can do and let the market show us what it's going to do. That's really it for right now. Not much really going on in the market. It's just been expanding. I didn't expect price to really take off like this week.
Yesterday was wild.
But I see why it is, because if you look on the weekly right now, This is what we were trading inside of this weekly bullish order block. And yesterday we finally got the expansion we've been waiting for, because we've been consolidating. That's why the last few days, the reason the move has been so big is because it's a bigger move. It's the higher time frame move. It's a move that's happening on the weekly, and the weekly wants to keep on going higher. So that's why the move that we're seeing like on a 4 hour was so expensive. Yeah. Just gotta wait right now. I'm about to show you guys some little tips. So, well, everyone else in the call, what are some
Okay.
what are some other concepts that you guys are struggling on or don't really feel comfortable with yet?
For me, I would say like I'm just new into the smart money concept.
Okay.
Yeah, yeah. I've been a retail trader. Like I've been trading for like almost 1 year now,
Okay.
and so I just got introduced to the smart money concept. So trying to change my psychology from what it used to be to
Yeah, it's like changing.
although
It's
I'm beginning to yeah, although I'm beginning to catch up. Like I could identify the other blocks
mm-hmm.
and yeah, the other blocks, the area of demand and supply and all that. Yeah, and but right now, like we're having major issues with execution. Like perfect
Yeah.
execution, because sometimes I could identify an order block, and all of a sudden price just starts to just fuck shit up.
Yeah, that's what happened.
Yeah,
Cause since
so
you're new to the concepts, it's good. You're gonna struggle regardless trying to take the trades because you don't have enough confidence in them yet because you don't see them as often yet. Say someone like me that trades it every day, I see the concepts work every day. So since I see it happen a lot, I have more confidence in executing the trades. So at the end of the day, all you got to do for real is just make sure you have a little system, because there's a lot of smart money concepts, I guess you could say, but you don't need to know them all. You just need to know a few that get to you, that you understand, that work for you. That's simply all it really is at the end of the day. And it just takes time experiencing them every day so you can see, like, see, remember how I was saying, let's see if we react to this order block, and then you see we tapped into it and immediately started rejecting. Seeing little things like this, because mind you, that's a move on the 15 minute, but if you go to the 1 minute, these are all potential trades you can still be looking at take, because all the concepts work on every single time frame. You get what I'm saying?
yeah,
So it's just things like that. But honestly, the best way that I learned looking at all order blocks, just looking at the concept, is I would just go back in time. Say I want to learn more about the order blocks, then I would just start back testing, and I would just search for all order blocks, and I would look at how price reacts to them. So for example, say I would just go back, I would just look for potential order blocks. Okay, this is a high. The last up candle for this down move, this potential order block, I'll draw it out into the future, and I'll look at how price reacts to it. And you can see price came to this area once, 2 times, before then having a major drop off of about 630 pips. So I'm like, okay, so this is a potential order block that I could look for in the future. So you see, you have an idea now of how it's being formed, and that's just one order block. And then I'll go back again, and I'll look for more potential areas where price is likely to come back to and have a retracement to. So what I see here is this last down candle that started this big up move, right? So this is a potential order block also. So what I would do is I'll pull it into the future, and I'll see if price ever reacts to it. And then what do you see?
yeah,
Right here happens again. You see price came into it, closed above, and this started a major move. And if you look at this based off a higher time frame, off the 4 hour, you see just like this,
yeah.
it's inside of just a bigger order block also on the higher time frame. And these little things like that over time you're just going to be gaining more experience of, but it just takes time at the end of the day. Like same thing with me. Like I started off not as confident, but as time goes on you get better with it. But what were you saying?
Oh well, yeah, yeah. I've been practicing, and like I've put in some trades. Like I put in one trade, in USD CAD progress. Unlike how it used to be. Like at some point, like I went off train for like 2 weeks because my psychology was fucked up.
Yeah,
So
mentally,
I
you
just
got to
had
be in
to
the right
just go through
place.
back tested, and I picked up, the FTMO demo, and gradually we're growing. I just wanted to just use that to backtest, this smart money concept strategies. So I just put in a lot of buy limits and sell limits, with a very good risk management and risk to reward. So some came out good, some, but all the same, we're still pushing through.
Yeah, that's what it comes down to. But one thing I would recommend for you, since you mentioned FTMO, if you're looking to get funded in the coming months, make make sure you back test, because you can use their demo as many times as you want, and it'll show you the credentials. It'll show you like the requirements that you need to be able to pass. So what you could do is continue to do those accounts and keep on passing them. So make sure you
Yeah,
do at least like 5 to 6, 5 to 10 accounts that you take from 1% to 10% gain. Because if you could do it 5 to 10 times, and then when you try to do the actual challenge, it's just going to be like another day. It's not going to be anything you haven't done before. You're going to have confidence. And if you give it time, because since you're getting like, you're changing a whole way that you're looking at the market. So regardless, it's just going to take a little bit more time for you to get an understanding. Because even like Martin, he didn't trade this way. He's starting to trade this way too. And he's slowly getting a better understanding just looking at the same things every day. So Martin,
Yeah.
what would you have to say about what are some key things from when you start learning about maybe a week, 2 weeks ago, maybe longer, to now? What are like a few things that you would recommend to someone getting into it that could kind of help them?
So what I would recommend is put together. Okay, so you have a year's worth of trading experience. That's all not for nothing. You learn support and resistance, probably patterns and everything. Okay, so learning how patterns play a part, let's just say, you trade the breakouts. Okay, well, look at why you're trading the breakout. If it's trading a bullish flag, you're trading the breakout, but then that's it was that the best possible entry though, the breakout, and then you start doing what Andre's doing, and you see, oh wow, there was a fair value gap filled before the consolidation was really finished, and then the breakout happened on like a pattern looking way. It's like, okay, well, fuck this. Like right here, if you would have drawn a line out, Andre, on the 4 hour, like, okay, like a flat top. Okay, wait, I'm trying to see like a good example.
It'll probably be a little hard due to this price action right here. It's not
Yeah,
really.
the most
It's just pushing.
but like, okay, so this entry down here, um, it's like, okay, so there's some
Matter of fact, here, I'll let you share your screen just so you can like point to it.
okay,
I just made you so you can share your screen. This was easier so you can like point to certain things so you can see them.
all right, can you guys see my screen?
No, I don't see it yet. Let me get out here again. You start sharing it.
I'm looking to see how I can share it.
If you go to like the thing where it says, I don't know if you have that control bar. It'll be like mute, start video. It'll be like new share or share screen.
Screen, got it. This will stop other screen sharing. Do you want to continue?
Yeah, you're good. You good. You got it.
Yes. Okay, and then I have my screen 3. Okay, cool. Share.
Now we see it.
All right,
Okay, so like for right here, real quick, like, okay, Andre brought up a good example in one of his videos. Like this was a trend line, and then it got broken, so someone could have easily just moved it up, right? Because there's no trade plan. It's just trading what you see, right?
That's why I don't really like that classic support resistance trend line, because at the end of the day, There's no reason behind it. You're just drawing lines at random prices and expecting it to have a certain reaction. And the big banks and all the institutional money, they know that. That's why you tend to see certain patterns happen a lot. And that's not saying that all the people that trade the same support resistance, they can't make money. Because at the end of the day, if you have experience in the market, that's gonna be the biggest thing no matter what.
Okay, and then like right here, this is the last down candle before like a move higher, this move higher, and it had price come down into these areas. Okay, what's up?
What's going on? And we're doing good. We're doing good. Just getting everyone active, trying to teach everyone these concepts.
I'm gonna get the screen back to you, Andre.
All right, but yeah, it's just little things. Like Martin's still learning. He's still not proficient, but he's over the past like 2 weeks. He's learning.
There's a better rally graph right here too. Like, I don't know. It's just I'm looking at these things and I see there's a imbalance here. This is a 30-minute. You know, like we could.
Okay, because that you can do for yourself immediately. You can just open an additional demo account for $5,000 because you requested to change your currency from ZAR to dollars. Yeah, yeah. So that has been changed already. So you can just create a new demo immediately. It will be in dollars and just reduce the amount to $5,000 upon opening it. So just on the drop down, you'll be able to select $5,000 there.
Martin, make me those real quick.
I'm trying to figure it out, Andre.
Go to the what you call it, participants, and then click on my name.
You don't have to for the demo. It's only for the real account where you needed to upload your documents.
You see
I
it.
see it, Andre.
What you call it? Look at the bar. You know where it's a share screen and everything. It'll be like participants.
Are you currently trading on your current demo? I'm not able to see activity. Are you trading?
Damn, Andre. I'm sorry, dude.
Nah, you good.
Again,
Look somewhere on the bottom. It'll be like a green bar.
New demo, and so that you can start. So the sooner you start, the better you will know how you are progressing. And
It's at the top. Go to your top. I see it. It's at the top. I think it's at the top. Is it? I'm trying to see like I can't really. I don't think I can see yours. It should be like a little green bar that you can click on, and it'll be like it'll show you everything, or it'll be at the bottom of your screen somewhere. Click on like the Zoom app. Matter of fact, this is where you join from.
no, I joined from. I'm already in it. It looks like.
yeah.
I'm trying. You just gotta find your taskbar.
Oh fuck! Stop sharing. You know what, Andre? I'm sorry about that, dude.
Nah, you get it.
I have my actual laptop that the whole thing went to the laptop instead of the monitors.
You good? What you call it? So you found the bar. Just make me listen.
Okay, so it says
Just click on participants and then click on my name. It should be like more.
So Trading View is it's an app you can download it on your phone. So unless maybe I'm mistaken, but I know
Alright,
this trading view
alright,
you
bet.
can download on your phone. It's similar to the HF app that we have available. So basically, what's happening there? You've got different market.
I'm trying to figure out how to do something.
Giving market analysis.
There we go. I don't know what she was talking about, bro. I don't know what she was talking about, bro. Alright. Price is just pushing right now. See, this is like trading environments where you can't really do much. See what I'm saying? You could have caught this potential trade at 8:30. This push, but ideally, I wasn't looking to take that trade. But you can see it came down, respected this 15-minute order block, tapped into it, and from there it had a big expansion. Didn't even go any lower. 100 pip move
Bullish.
at 830. This is too bullish. I don't like when it's too bullish because there's not no room for trades.
Or jump in on a trade if you're not holding it.
Yeah, because easily you could have gotten in on this trade here, but there's no reason for me to believe that price is gonna keep on pushing after losing momentum like it was. See what I mean? It was losing momentum. You would have thought it was starting to reject, to start to come lower, but that's why you just gotta wait. I'm gonna wait at 930. I'll see what I can see. We could find another potential buy scenario. It just all varies what happens with time. But we're gonna see. Right now, New York session is creating a new high during the New York session, so we can anticipate that there's likely going to be a chance that we could have a full reversal sometime today. So we'll see what happens. Right now, I'm trying to see what everyone else would have they would struggle on. We got about 8 minutes left on this little Zoom before I make a new one. But I'm gonna go over a few concepts with you while we're here. I had wrote some notes. I was gonna go. Yeah. Matter of fact, I'm gonna just do it again. We should be good now. So I'm gonna make you host again. I want you to get rid of everything on your US30 chart, and I'm gonna watch you mark up from nothing.
Okay.
Yeah, am I able to just let you allow to record, allow to pen? So not.
So you want me to share the screen?
Yeah, I was gonna see if I can make you share it without making you host, but here, let's make you host.
So can you see my screen?
Not yet. You gotta click it again. So when you go, every time I give you host, you just gotta do new share and share the screen again.
Okay, and then I'll just go back. Okay, I got it. Sweet.
So delete everything, and I want to see how you would mark up from nothing.
Okay, so markup from nothing. Okay, so I'm actually gonna go down to the weekly chart here, and I'm just gonna see the highs and the lows, mark them out,
Mm-hmm.
and I would say this is the low right here. Fuck.
What's your click the trash bar instead, so you can get rid of everything. You just hit it. Now all the way to the left. You can You just hit it. Mm-hmm.
Okay, those are my
Those are highs and lows, so those are a form of where the market's gonna be reaching for liquidities.
okay, and then so that's we have this range here. Okay, sweet. Okay, so
Mm-hmm.
now we want to get your a little bit better analysis of where we are in this time continuum. You know, the week. What's everybody doing, looking?
Mm-hmm.
Don't want to trade, not have any analysis because there's smart people out there charting it up, and
Always, they're all trading on the big time frames.
yeah. So then I was it yesterday's daily that we chart, or is it today? What's being created currently?
Currently, yeah, what I would do is I will mark up the previous day high and low. So I would move that daily low to that one would be the daily high, and then I'll move that bottom one, the daily low, to the next candle.
Like that?
Now the other one, the low of the previous candle,
Oh, okay.
because you wouldn't mark up today's daily high and daily low because it's gonna just keep on moving anyway. So we want to know where the previous day high and low, and you can see we're taking out the previous day high. So ideally, if we were bullish, we would have been waiting for price to trade to around 50% of that previous candle before going higher. But you can see it barely had a retracement and it's just pushing.
Yeah, it's pushing, right? It came down, and then right back up.
It didn't really do much. No pullbacks.
Okay, so we go back to the daily. So I didn't do any order blocks. I just did the highs and lows. So now we gotta do order blocks first and see
You don't even gotta do the age session right now. It's not gonna really show it on the daily. You can wait till like you get on lower time frames.
Okay. So so daily order block. I can see that this last down candle before this move
Mm-hmm.
is a daily order block right there.
Mm-hmm. That would be one we would potentially be looking at reaction in the future.
Then there's an I don't okay, so order block daily, daily, daily. Um, there's this I think this is an order block right here where it's the last up candle.
Personally, I would use the one to the left. You see that bigger one, where not that very high, but the one after it. Let me see if you see it. The one after it.
Here.
Now keep on going to the right a little bit. It's right after the drop. You drop, pushed up, created a down candle, then had up candle.
Okay.
I would use that one because that's where like the real highs started. After that up candle, price didn't go any higher. It just started to trade lower.
Right here.
Yeah, so I would use that big green candle right there instead, because and it also gives you a bigger area to look inside of. You could use that one you just had. It would just be a refined order block. So it will still have that chance that price will trade into it, but you also keep in mind that you could miss that trade by having it go weak to get to that exact spot. When you're using this bigger one, it gives you a wider area to form because it's a bigger candle and it covers a bigger area.
Is this the candle you're talking about?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, the last up candle right there.
Last up candle before the move down. Okay, I see it now.
And now what you could do is you know how to put the 50%. If you just get your fib and get the 50% of that whole area and look where it's at. If you want, just put like a line right at it, so you can just get rid of the fib afterwards. Oh, you have 50%. Okay, yeah, you good. And you can see, where does that line up?
I don't have it kind of like how you have yours, but it says it's like right at the
Other daily, right? The other order
35,
block.
30, yeah, right in that daily order block at the 35,344 price tag.
So now, since you see that, you now know that inside of that big order block, you could refine it to now you could try to get into a trade at that small one. At that area, now you can anticipate that if price keeps on pushing, there is a chance that it could push to that other daily order block. So like I said, you could use both, but that other one, the first one you marked up, would just be a refined one. And it'll just give you a better entry and stop loss.
Okay.
And
I'm gonna go down to a smaller time frame and see what is given to us or shown to us.
mm-hmm.
Fair value gap. Right
Yep.
here?
Yep.
Okay.
Right inside the other confirmations that we have, so there's more reason to believe that price is going to have a willingness to try to trade into that area, which is around that 35,200 to 35,400 area.
There.
Yeah, I'll be right there. Another thing you could, I was gonna say, just learn to have lots of color coded so you can like treat your eyes to see certain things. So when you see certain colors, you'll be like, okay, this is this, this is that, so you don't confuse yourself. What I used to do with like my bullish and bearish order blocks, the way I learned to see them is when I would shade them in like you, I would make them green so I knew that they were bullish. Whenever I would come to it, I would be expecting a push. And the same thing with bearish. With all my bearish order blocks, I will have a red box so I'll be like, okay, once we get in this area, I'm going to expecting price to drop. And then over time, you can learn to see it like that. That's why now I can use it as the lines because I understand where we are in price and what I should be expecting from those areas.
Okay. I see the market structure. This low right here was taken out by about 50 pips.
Mm-hmm.
Something like that. So now you see this, right? It's not making a lower low. And these are getting higher. So I see the structure, and then this was creating a lower low down here. Now it created a higher high. So now my whole bias, especially after this area was filled in.
That shit ended. Crazy. Hold on, I might have to fix my camera real quick. Alright, wait for Martin to join. Yeah, guys, I'm just letting them all go over the charts right now, just trying to see where their mind is. Let's see. One thing I saw when he was going over his chart is right here. What's going on, Martin? That should be ending out of nowhere. That should be catching me.
Yeah, I didn't even notice. I was like, hey, you guys there?
Now, one thing I noticed just now though is when you were on that weekly time frame, I noticed that right now we are at this weekly order block as of right now. So that's one reason to believe we are going to see a reaction. It might not be a crazy reaction, it might not be what we're expecting, but based off the higher time frame, we're more than likely going to see some sort of reaction in this price. And if I also pull my fib from that high to this low, it's right at that 70.50%. The only thing that I don't feel comfortable with is, since it's on the big time frames, looking for a potential trade is not going to give us a great stop loss. Damn, I gotta pull this fib. I hate having weekly confirmations on a small chart. It's all the way over like that.
That's at 70.5.
It's like right above it.
Possibly.
Trying to there we go. So we could we're trading this as weekly order block. You're seeing we're starting to have a reaction. We traded straight to it also. And wow, this fib is like so far, bro. Damn. I'm trying to
I'll be doing that all the time.
I'm trying to bring it over, and it's just 34,360. Just like that. Alright, I'm trying to see where. Alright, fuck it. It's right there. I'm not even gonna bother moving it no more, man. This shit. OCD be fucking me up. I can't do this shit. There. As you can see, we're at this weekly order block, about to trade into this 70.50%. We also want to keep in mind that we have that 34,200 area right here. So this could be a potential area we're looking to go short, because like I said, we're anticipating price to have a reversal because we're creating a new high during New York session, and we're trading into a big area in price on the higher time frame. So based off of what happens at 9:30, I'm going to be anticipating price to keep going short. I'm not going to be looking for buy scenarios unless we really have a major drop out of at 9:30 to this area down here. We could potentially look for buys, but personally I feel as if I'm anticipating a retracement. I'd rather capitalize on the retracement, because I know there could be a chance that we then try to go for these lows down here based off of the reaction of this weekly order block. Because it's not a 5 minute, 30 minute, it's a weekly area that is likely to be used as a resistance. So the move that transpires from it is going to be way bigger than something based off of lower time frames.
Okay.
A move like this could potentially reverse all of this, and like we were looking at, could give us that retracement to this breaker block we're looking for. So we're gonna need a deep retracement for us to trade back into that area. And we're going to basically go off of this weekly order block that we're trading at. And that's really it. Yeah, you just have to wait potentially. Ideally, getting into a sell, you would just want to get in somewhere around here, because this is where a majority of that confirmation's at. But we gonna see. We let price show us what it wants to do.
Hey, well, Andre.
Mm-hmm.
I last week I took like 4 extra trades
Okay.
outside of when you were trading, and each of those kind of turned into like a loss, and I didn't have no plan, so
That's why the thing is, you got to know what you're looking for when you go into the market, and you have to have a certain time you trade. Like trade a certain session. Like yesterday when you were talking about the Asian session, and I was telling you how it's usually no movement. There's a reason why I don't trade that session, and I stick to one session. I only look at one session, because when you look at multiple sessions, it's gonna cause you to see opportunities that you think would happen. But what happened with that move yesterday? Did it end up playing out?
No.
That's why I don't trade Asian session, bro. It's just because the thing is, you never know what to expect. The reason why New York session is good pair, especially on US 30, is for one, it moves with the New York Stock Exchange. So at 9:30 is more than likely going to have a lot of reaction. So we know when price is going to move. So that makes it 10 times easier for us to now get on the right side of the trade. Because why? Because it's not like if we trade Asian session, there's not really much we can go off of. We can go off of what happened during New York. But if we use New York session and go off of what happened during London session, it creates a bias for what we could see throughout that whole day. Because when you trade an Asian session, you're trading at the end of the day, after the whole candle already had its expansion and then consolidated towards the end of the candle. So you see how if you look on the daily or daily, this is on the weekly, but if you look at the daily right here, see how candles start low, push up, but then come down.
Yeah.
For example, you were getting in looking for trades at the top of this candle during the Asian session. Then you can see price came down, start consolidating, going lower. That's why when you trade with New York session, you look for certain things around the open. You can get the lowest possible or highest possible price before that expansion. So that's why New York session, especially on US 30, it creates a lot of reason, and it's just ideally the best time to trade. And another thing, the way to keep yourself from taking trades is because I still struggle with it too. That at the end of the day, you just gotta get comfortable enough with losses, and you gotta be comfortable enough to wait. Because I know how it is when you're learning concepts, you want to try them out all the time, but that's why we have demo. So you just gotta, I'm trying to think of another way to say it. Because you're talking about how you took some more trades and you needed to.
Yeah, and I noticed if I would have just not placed those trades, I would have it was essentially like would have made a little bit of like profit pips at the end of the week. It would have been, like, oh, okay, well, I got my experience in, I didn't kill myself, I lived the trade another week, but instead I fucking took those trades at negative like 4% extra.
Yeah, see, the thing is, that's what it comes down to is, because if you could take these you got to be disciplined with it. That's why today I'm only looking to take a trade at 9:30. I'm not trying to take anything before then, because I'm trying to limit the risk I put myself onto. Because I'm taking into account it's Friday, it's the end of the week, and in this case scenario, we've just been pushing crazy, and it's not really anything opportunity wise. So you got to learn to see when there's opportunity, and you got to see when there's not opportunity. And shit, I still struggle with it myself. We're also learning every day by day. But one thing I would recommend for you to not over trade is once you give yourself like arrows. So say you only give yourself 2 attempts at a trade a day. Once you do that, just turn off the computer and just don't look at the chart. Do whatever you have to do. Because I'm telling you, once you're not looking at the charts for an hour, you're not going to want to just hop back in. Because you're going to have that time to really sit down. You're like, yeah, there ain't no point. Let me just go on with my day, take the little loss or take my little profit. So sometimes it's good to just walk away from the chart, because when you're staring at the chart, you tend to look for more opportunities than there really are. Because at that point, when you're looking at the chart, you're anticipating a trade to happen. When in reality, if all the things aren't coming together, like if you're not trading at a certain time, if you're not trading a certain pattern, and you're just going in looking for random things, it tends to, you gotta be disciplined, look for certain things at a certain time. And if you take that loss, you gotta be disciplined to just wait. But it's all good shit. I still struggle with, I get into trades all the time. Thing with me is when I re-entry now, I'm giving myself that potential risk. I'm taking potential risk, but I know that when I win the trades after re-entering, it's not always a good thing. Because I know every time I re-enter, even though I tend to make my money back, it's not always gonna happen. So that's one thing I'm struggling with personally. But it all takes time. Especially you getting used to the concepts, you're gonna want to try them out more. You know what I mean? Because you're trying to gain that experience, you're trying to see it happen more, you're trying to anticipate it. It happens. Shit, I used to do the same thing. I used to draw. Just to draw. Take trades every day, all day.
The goal is just to not lose. It's just to be break even for me right now at this point in time, while I'm learning these concepts, putting it together to make a whole strategy, like a strategy. Um, when entering the markets, that's the edge. That's the
Mm-hmm.
edge you have is you have all these little concepts that you put together to make a strategy that when there's a high confluence area, you've learned to identify it and be pretty accurate with it,
Mm-hmm.
with how the day trades.
Yeah, that's all it really comes down to. Like the only way, the best way to be profitable is to always have a positive risk reward. So no matter what, don't take a trade unless it's 1 to 2, because this automatically makes it so if you lose a trade, you're not kicking yourself out the game. You still have another chance of losing a trade without being break even. So that's one thing that I was tuned on into really early. Because when I first started US30, bro, I would get a lot of 1-to-1 trades and I would be taking a lot of profit early, and I didn't have the discipline to hold trades. But once I started holding trades for what I really was going for, a 2% win or a 3% win, it makes it so when you take losses, they're way more bearable, because one loss isn't going to take you out the game. One loss isn't going to affect a whole week's profit as long as you have a positive risk reward. Then after
So
positive,
you recommend in the demo account just don't even scale out at 1-to-1, or just move the stop loss to break even and let the trade ride to at least the two.
you could, but personally, just with the way US30 moves, it's always volatile, so always take something off. It doesn't even have to be a lot. Like when I first take my first partial, I take like 10% off. I don't really take much. I just take enough to where I pay myself, and if I break even, I make that break even money plus that 10%. So I'm giving myself something. But I do a little bit because I'm still anticipating price to go to my 1-to-2, 1-to-3, because overall I'm going for a longer term move that I'm trying to capitalize off of. Because when you're taking profit too early, a 1-to-1 trade, if you have another one tomorrow, you could potentially lose. Then you're going to be down 2%. When in reality, if you just would have waited for certain trades like a 1-to-3 or a 1-to-2, you don't even have to take as many trades during the week no more. You know what I mean? It comes down to less is more at the end of the day, quality over quantity. And that's
That's
so.
the hard part. Everybody wants to trade every day, multiple times. But that's the part. That's the discipline. That's what separates
Mm-hmm.
the minnows from the sharks. That's what separates the sheep from the wolves. The predator from the prey. It's like
That's why you have
this
to
is
have
this
a
is
certain system. Like that's why when I really started using this system, what I'm looking for setup wise, this is what's keeping me disciplined, because I'm looking for certain things to transpire. I'm not looking to, if price starts pushing all the way up here, I'm gonna buy again, because I know based off of my setup, I ideally want to be buying somewhere down here, not up here. It could still happen. I could have bought here, right? I could have bought here. I could have bought the 8 session high retest, but ideally what I would be looking for is to clear the liquidity, trade into this order block, potentially trade into this 50%, and I will be buying below the daily open, which will give me the best case scenario for a buy. And that's what comes down to, as long you have to make sure you have a system that works for you. So even though this works for me, it might not potentially work for you. You might have to change a few things, add maybe 1 or 2 things, because everyone's different. Everyone's trades different. Everyone has things that appeal to them more. You know what I mean?
yeah. As long as it shows after a long period of back testing. Yeah, if it works, it works. Like I can figure something out. But you've been doing this for 2 years. I did stock trading for a long time. I have a good understanding of how to do that. But now,
Mm-hmm.
but I was always FOMOing in the trades. Now I know how to use all the back end software stuff.
Okay.
Now I know what a trade plan looks like, and to have patience by just trading more along with you, like
Mm-hmm.
getting it all set up.
A system is very key, and like that's one thing I didn't really tune on into until like recently, because the thing with me is I would take the concepts that I knew and I would just get on the market every day and I would look for something and I would just wait for something to happen. But now when I have a system, I'm looking for certain things to happen. There's a big difference, because I'm not looking to react to the market. I'm looking to anticipate what's going to happen ahead of time, so that when it happens, I have more confidence in taking that trade. And that's why when it comes down to taking the journals, screenshotting the trades, because like I said, when you have experience and you know you could look back and see certain setups happen over and over and over and over, it's just gonna give you that more confidence to wait for that setup to happen, because you know that if it comes here, there is a high probability that it will work out. So at the end of the day, with you just gotta stay disciplined for now. But as long as you keep trying to stay disciplined as much as possible, and you start seeing these concepts and you start getting better with them, you're gonna start to trust it more, and you're gonna start to wait for certain setups that you see happen more often. That's why when you mark
Buy limit.
where
Let's say if you had a bias and you had to go to do something later, you're busy like in a little bit. Could you place a pending buy limit order because price? Let's say you have a bias for it to be bullish at
Mhm.
that fib long 15-minute order block Asian session. Like okay, so that's your 34,950. Could you place like a buy limit order with a entry at
Yeah, you could.
34,950?
I've used them before. I've definitely used buy limits and all that before to catch potential trades. But personally, what I noticed is because for a long time, for like 6 months to like 8 months, I wouldn't even trade from my computer. I would trade at work on break on my phone. So like the thing was, back then I noticed I would be in trades, I would be anxious, I would be wanting to look at my phone the whole time, I would be wanting to check trades. And that's why I had to change like the way I schedule my life. So now I could trade in the morning. I'm on the charts and I'm looking at everything happen. I'm able to watch everything happen. Because when you're not looking at the charts, anything can happen. You can cut your losses short when you're actually looking at the chart. You can't do that when you let it run. But it all depends on your personality at the end of the day. Because personally, I don't like to be in trades when I sleep. I don't like being in trades when I'm out doing things. I like to be at my computer, my station, make the money, and then I can focus on everything else. So when I leave, I don't have my mind's still not on trading. You get what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I set a time aside so I can focus on it, and then after that time's done, I'm gone. Not even worried about it. It's like a job at the end of the day. You're not gonna, if you're not getting paid outside of your hours, you're not gonna want to look at the charts, right? It's like go to your job. It's like the same thing. That's how I'm looking at it. This is my job. I'm here for a certain amount of time. I'm looking for certain things to happen. I'm waiting for certain things to happen. If I lose a trade, it's part of the business. Businesses lose money. If I win a trade, don't let it go to your head. Got profit for the day, and we just leave it at that. Journal what we got to do. Wait till tomorrow, and we just got to do it all again. It's about consistency at the end of the day. If you can be consistent with what you do, over time you're gonna get better regardless.
Oh yeah, thanks for that.
Yeah, I got you, bro. But you can see right now, it's just weekly order block. You can see the reaction we're having. We're struggling to really move from here. I was trying to look for potential selling scenarios based off the lower time frame. Right here. Part of me wants to get in short right here, just based off of, because we're at this big area. Price isn't gonna just push up higher during, you know, when is it? At 9:30. So part of me wants to get in maybe a little bit before 9:30, with a possible maybe 50 pip stop. I'm trying to see, would that be valid? 50 pips for potential. I don't know. I'm trying to see, because I don't want to. I want to have enough room for if price does push up during 9:30, I will have enough room to eat the drawdown. I'm keeping in mind, price is reacting off of this order block. We have this 4 hour, not 4 hour, this is weekly area right now. So I'm just trying to see the reaction we have. I'm anticipating the price to continue dropping. So part of me wants to get in here based off the short-term time frame. So I'm gonna have a 50 pip stop, and I'm gonna get in short here, anticipating price to continue dropping. And I want to get in before price really takes off. And like I said, I'm only looking to go short. I'm not looking to do anything else. All right, just got in when price had that little upwick. I'm putting my stop. 50 pips. I got in at 34,125. Right when we started retracing, 34,125. I have a 50 pip stop. 34,125, so I'm gonna have my stop at 175. 34,175. You could probably even have it a little bit lower, possibly, but you could change it as time goes on. But I'm basically just anticipating price to continue dropping from here. We'll see. I'm ideally looking to take price to that under that 12 a.m. open. That would be our ideal trade. If we can get price to drop even lower, even if we could trade back lower to this ideal down here, that would be the perfect scenario. But you know, and not everything's gonna be perfect. You just gotta take it as time goes. We're gonna see what happens.
Yeah, bro. Like just it being so bullish, like.
Yeah, I don't feel comfortable just buying at a random spot. I would rather take my chance on trying to catch this a small retracement, because honestly, I don't see prices taking off again. If it takes off again, I'll come back next week, because shit, ain't nothing I could do with this.
That's that because fuck yeah,
It's not really much.
FOMO, right? FOMO,
Yeah.
you're now-
That's why the thing is, if you leave runners, say I would have got into a runner sometime at the beginning of this week, I could have held certain buy positions and I would still be in them.
Yeah,
That's why my buy positions got stopped out, but you get what I'm saying.
yeah, I feel.
But we're gonna see what price does. I'm also gonna keep in mind, I'm gonna go back to this weekly area. I'm gonna look at this weekly order block. I want to get to 50% of it, because I want to have an idea where price is likely. 35,295. Yeah, 295 is all the way up here. Yeah, shit, fuck that. Fuck that. Yeah, I'm expecting to have a reaction here. I don't want to see it go to 50%. If it goes to 50% of that weekly order block, it's trading all the way up here. So ideally, this is our trade scenario. Like I said, the characteristics we're looking for, I'm ideally looking for a New York reversal. That is the trade we're looking for. It's usually I look for a London continuation or a New York reversal. I'm looking for a New York reversal to that. And you can see, if we created this high of the day right now, so far during the New York session, so I can anticipate if price does want to have a reversal, it should be from up here, considering we're going into 930. We're making the high of the day. We're trading at a weekly order block going into 930. So we can anticipate something to happen, transpire off of this. And we just wait, slowly losing momentum. We'll see if prices keeps going, stops us out. We'll keep in mind where we'll be looking to get out of the trade. Damn, price is just pushing and pushing. They just not want to have a retracement whatsoever. That's why you gotta learn when to stay out the market. Shit, I'll be struggling sometimes too, but I'm expecting price to do a certain thing by 930. I'm gonna have my stop wide enough, but we'll see. Let me check NAS 100 real quick, see what NAS 100 is doing. See, NAS is way cleaner. I'd way rather trade NAS. This is way cleaner market structure. Trade it here. To this order block, possibly. It's just way cleaner on NAS 100. That's why certain times I'll rather trade NAS. I'll look at NAS 100 sometimes for potential trades, because US 30 sometimes is just trash. As you can see right now, it's not really doing what I want now either. We gotta wait. By 930, I want to see what it does. This could be.
We're still a little early, 12 minutes.
This could be a potential false break. I'm not gonna act like it is going to be that though, because you just got to wait and see what price wants to do. But we'll see. If we take the L, we take the L. See what reaction we have after clearing this high. Yeah, weeks like this aren't the best trading weeks, personally. But we'll see what happens.
At least it's moving sideways. Still, it's not like it has that. Well, recently, maybe about 30 minutes to 20 minutes ago, I had that impulse up, but
Yeah, we just gotta wait right now. Right now, it's just consolidating. Once that volume kicks in, we'll see what happens.
I'm just ready for my dad went to San Diego. Motor season. He's part of this like gummies. They like to go out to eat. You know, they're all bikers, friends.
Okay.
They're all know, bro. So he's not at the shop right now. So it's been my brother and I running it, and honestly, bro, it's so much more peaceful.
Peace of mind.
Yeah, dude, it's just because my dad, he's a stickler, bro. So he's cool. I love him. You know, he's been there forever. Like he's my dad, and we've been in business now for 10 years. But ever since day one, he's fought us with everything, and it's been my brother and I who put the whole business together, got all the business relationships, put the building together, made the move. We moved my parents from house to house, did all that paperwork, LLCs, EINs,
Mm-hmm.
messaging customers, like product supply, you know, making sure that we have all our tools in stock. We do everything, man. You know, invoices,
And we're not precious pushing.
taxes, P&Ls, like. So it's kind of like one of those things where it's like he's out of the way. It's like, oh fuck, I can breathe, like, and go sit at the computer without him being like, what are you doing? I'm doing it
Yeah.
right now, fool.
Yeah, price is just pushing. Like you can see, we're not even having a 38% retracement. We're not having little to no retracement. Price just keeps on pushing, keeps on pushing. And these are the market environments I don't like to be in. I hate trading US30 when it trends like this. I'd rather trade a consolidating market because I at least know when it's consolidating. I know where I could be looking to get in and out of trades. When it's just trending upwards, it's just bad. And now look, price just, I don't really know where it's going. It's just pushing, like, it's just going. This is how stocks move. It just goes up and you just hold.
Yeah, it's one of those things where, okay, so yours has like a technical, it's manipulated, right?
Mm-hmm.
But what happens when the like FOMO kicks in? It just keeps going up, right? Like people see that, so like that's where patterns come in. Where if let's say you get in at like a 75% retracement, you're like, well, I'm gonna scale out at the highs. But what if at those highs, that's when the momentum really starts to kick in, and then you get like 2 or 3 big bullish candles. That would be nice.
Yeah. Personally, it's up to everyone. Everyone is different at the end of the day. Personally, I don't like it, but right now, I'm seeing what price is likely to do. We could trade back to 70.50%, but ideally, if we're trading inside of this weekly order block, so I'm looking to trade below here. I don't want to keep pushing higher, and if we do, I'm probably just gonna cut this trade short because I'm not even gonna. Let me see where the 50% of my stop loss. Ideally, once we get to that 50% stop loss, I'm gonna be looking to not really stay in the trade as long. Going into 9:30, we have about 8 minutes. But if we can continue to trade below this high and keep closing below it, it'll show that willingness to want to go lower. But if it keeps on pushing, then I'm not even gonna try to catch no trade. I'm gonna just let it. Whatever happens, happens.
There's just the opportunity hasn't presented itself
Mm-hmm.
clearly yet.
And I know what it wants to do. I know it's gonna have. I know at 9:30 we're gonna see some form of a drop, even if it's not long term. It'll be short term, but still. Trade scenarios like this is I hate these kinds of conditions. I always hate trading US30 when it's trading at new highs, when it's just creating, just pushing and pushing. Hate trading it in these conditions because there ain't really no opportunities to take advantage of. It's more meant for people that long term. The big banks are all just holding right now. They're not intraday trading like we are.
Yeah, it's an investment. A lot of people have it in their portfolios.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, price is just pushing. Ain't really much we could do. It's just trash. The only scenario you could have got in at 8:30 around here when we came back to this order block, but I wasn't gonna get in that early because that could have been a potential good trade. It's just a 130 pips traded to the Asian session high, this order block, and we traded like to this open right here. So we'll see. We're gonna see what happens with price. If we start trading past the 70.50%, I'm gonna just take that loss for what it is. I'm not even gonna let it come to the straight stop loss, and I'll just end it for the day. Just leave it at that.
Yeah.
We'll see what happens.
I created a new demo account this morning because yesterday I was doing good, man. I had to come back. I was at 5%. extra trades, and I actually increased my risk percent by 2%, and that actually goes a long way. Like I'm not even gonna nothing over 1% again, because
Yeah,
if it's a wrong trade
you
and
could
you're
lose a
losing
lot more.
2%, yeah, it's like fuck,
Then
man.
now if you go back to 1%, it's gonna take way more trades for you to be able to make that back.
Yo,
Let's just see what price says. I'm risking 1%. The thing I always risk 1%. I don't even go anything above it because I know the lot size I can use. I know how much I'm looking to risk and all of that. It just makes it easier because when you change your percentage wise, I don't know, it'll be less consistent. If I use one lot size and I'm trading the same amount, risking the same amount, I could be more consistent in that. All right, price is just pushing. We gonna see if it does. If it doesn't starts pushing past this, I'm gonna just end it. We have 5 minutes till 9:30. Price just starts taking off. I don't even know what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna just let it because this is just shitty. You would think it will have some sort of pullback, but it's just pushing.
yeah, there's
Pushing.
a lot of space up there too.
It's coming into this area up here. Like I said, it's just reaching for all of this up here, and this isn't really giving us much opportunity to trade. We just gotta let it do what it gotta do. Like this candle today, literally did nothing. It just pulled back, not like probably 50 pips, and just kept going back up. And there really isn't much we can do from this. Just gotta have a stop loss and just let what happens happens. See how we react right here at this level. Yeah, because right now this is looking like it's just gonna end up being a loss, and then we'll just have to leave it at that. Because there's no reason for us to look for anything besides. So I have no reason to believe I'm not gonna buy up here. No way I'm buying up here. Price could take off for whatever reason, but I will not buy up here. So we'll see what happens. Let's look at NAS 100, see what NAS is doing again. NAS is, yep, had that push off of that daily order block, off that 5 minute. So look at this push. It's pushing, so. But this is way more clean. Like, US30 does not look like this whatsoever. US30 is way shittier. And US30 is the way more volatile pair. Like, NAS 100 is way cleaner. Way better market structure, all of that. Yeah. It's probably just gonna be a loss. I already came to that conclusion once we started pushing back past his weekly order block. So we'll see what happens.
Watch that New York Open and just flush down.
Yeah.
Maybe
I wish, but I'm just considering the fact that we moved so much. I just got stopped out beforehand.
yeah.
It's like I don't see prices now reversing. You know what I mean? It just doesn't make sense. If it does fully reverse, then that just makes 0 sense. But
Okay. Well, in that case, it was a nice analysis.
yeah,
So, well,
I'm gonna just wait for price to see what it does at 9:30. Because if it does just wick down, I could potentially just wait for a retracement back to here. That's the only way I would get back into a trade.
is that's for a bullish buy, right?
This would be for I'm looking for only sells. If it does come back to here, it could go back up. I'll just leave it. But if price starts to break even lower past, I would just look for a retracement of some sort to then capitalize back on this trade. Because look, price is starting to slowly reject back into this area. So we'll see. Because I'm not going to take an unnecessary trade. There ain't no point. Especially with the market structure we have right now. We'll see. Yeah, now it's just reacting. Alright, let's see what it does. If it starts breaking, I'll look for potential retracement back to here. See, look at that. Look at see what I mean? I know where price we wanted to go. See stop losses.
You need to get it for a buy, or
I'm not looking to buy. I'm gonna be looking to short. Once we break this low, if we have a small retracement back to right here, I'm selling right here. Based off of this. broke that low, retrace back to this breaker block, just like that. My stop loss is gonna be, I'm gonna have it right here. I'm anticipating price to continue dropping, so ideally don't want to see it come any lower. So I'm gonna have my stop loss right here, about 30 pips. Small stop loss because I'm not gonna risk too much, and I'm gonna just leave it at that. We're gonna be trying to catch this full drop. Whatever happens, happens. If I get stopped out again, take my L. If not, then it is what it is. It's a risky trade. Like I said, based off of this, we should keep dropping. So let's see what happens. We let the market show us what it wanted to do. Now we just wait for it to continue on where we want it to go. Let's see.
Turning into a
Yes.
bearish engulfing candle.
We'll see what happens. Let's see. I'm gonna get my 1-to-1 fib so I can see where my 1-to-1 and all that will be. Alright, and we just wait. We waited for price to show us what I wanted to do. Now it's showing us. But see what I mean? Like, it's literally just stopped me out before going my direction. That's why certain trades it's just like hard to, you just gotta wait for it to do what it gotta do. Alright, I'm at 1R right now. So I'm at my risk, what I was willing to risk. So I'm gonna wait for it to drop a little bit again. It's back at break even. But once it goes back down to about 30 pips in profit, I'm going to be breaking even. I'm not going to take a partial yet because I'm going to try to make back that loss. So I'm going to wait for my 1-to-2. So we'll see. It's kind of struggling right now, but ideally, like I said, I don't want to see price go long. All right, we're at about to be at that 1-to-1 again. All right, struggling. I'm trying to get this 1-to-1 because ideally I'm not trying to risk taking this trade. Once I get to the profit target, we're already in profit. I'm just going to break it even and just let it run. Try to get to that 1-to-2, 1-to-3 area. That would be ideal. Like, damn. Price does not want to drop at all. It's not want to drop, bro. If it just goes and stops me out, yeah, I'm done with the market for the day. I'll be back next week. Small retracement. Let's see. If it does retrace, ideally I would want to see it retrace to only about the, what would it be? 38.20. If it goes any higher, then I don't really know. Ideally I want to see it reject from here. I don't want to see it go any higher. If it goes any higher, then I'll probably, yeah. Goddamn. It's pushing. See what it's going to do. I'm just waiting for this drop. Because look at this area. It's rejecting this area that I was previously looking at, right?
Yeah.
That's what I was going into, because I got in here because I knew if we kept breaking lower, we ideally would have retraced to it before going lower. So let's see. I know what I'm waiting to see. We just got to see if our small stop loss is going to be able to withhold it. So you just have to give yourself a certain amount of arrows. If you use all your arrows, you can't do nothing. Just gotta leave it at that. Yeah, this is struggling right now. Come on. Keep going. Just give me the 1-to-1. I just want to break even. That's all I want to do. If I break even, that means if I take the loss, I just took a 1% loss. And I'll just leave it at that. Come on. Keep rejecting. Keep dropping. Keep dropping. And for all you guys, yes, I'm in the trade. I'm waiting for it to keep dropping. I'm gonna stop loss above. Anticipating this to keep falling. Just waiting for it. Struggling right now. Come on, you know you want to keep going lower. You've been going up for the past 4 days. Come on. This is what I hate. Pushing up, pushing up. Yeah, this move is likely probably gonna stop me out because it's gonna try to retrace back to here. Let's see what it does, man. Yeah, the price is just, it's too bullish for me. I don't like the way it looks.
Yeah.
Like, it can still play out, but it's just the fact that it's struggling so much to go one direction, and it's just showing you it really wants to just keep going up. It's probably just gonna end up stopping me out. My trade isn't the exact same on here due to the fact that it's on MetaTrader. It's a little bit higher, but I try to get in as close as possible with
I got
this.
stopped out.
Yeah, it's rejecting a 62. If it doesn't reject from here, then this trade is a goner. Yeah, it's more than likely gonna stop me out too.
Yeah.
Yeah, this is just not a good trade. Yeah, we just end it here, cause bro, it's not showing no willingness to want to go any lower, and shit, what are we gonna do? And watch it start to melt from here, and that's just what happens.
Yeah, bro. I think I'm gonna start waiting until the actual open next week. And then wait maybe for like yeah, no, you know what? I'll tap in next week, Andre. I'm gonna go over these trades this weekend.
Mm-hmm.
See where I can improve. Man, this better not start melting.
It probably is, bro. Probably
Damn, I
is.
just got taken out by like 3 pips.
It's all good, bro. It's all good. Just leave it as is. It is what it is. The market is just on some bullshit. Like, if you look at this, it's on the 30-minute. It looks like it wants to go lower, and if it doesn't, then it's literally dead all this for nothing.
Well, Brody, I'm gonna get ready to go to the gym and then work. Keep me posted if you find any aha moments with your strategy.
Yeah, I got you. Bro, I'll talk to you. You be safe. Alright guys, as you can see, today was unsuccessful. Not really what I was looking for in the market. I was looking for sells. Like I anticipated this drop here, but it's not as clean as I would like. And right now it's just struggling to keep falling, so it is what it is. I'm gonna just end it here, guys. Make sure you stay disciplined. Don't take any unnecessary trades, and if the market isn't showing you what it wants to do, just leave it as is. So I'm gonna end it here, and you guys all be safe.